Monggo, Prof.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to welcome Mr. Gordon Dunlop, Mrs. Kimberly Hendron, and Miss Tiffany Embron from the University of Strathclyde, Bapak Astiati Hendra and Ibu Iva Fauzia from the Indonesian Britain Education Center, IPEC, and all the participants in today's sharing session with the University of Strathclyde. I want to thank the University of Strathclyde and IPEC for being present virtual in UNS today. Before going info to the session, I would like to introduce UNS briefly. UNS is a relatively young university in Indonesia. This March in our 46th anniversary in 11 March. According to the Minister of Education and Culture, UNS currently belong to Cluster 1 among the best universities in Indonesia. We also rank for 101 to 450 in the world based on KS Asian University Ranking 2021, and also to 101 to 300 times Higher Education Impact Ranking 2021, and 401 Young University Ranking 2022. Yeah. If you have a chance to visit UNS, we would be pleased to take you around our green campus. UNS is green campus in Solo, as we rank the 7th in Indonesia in UE Universitas Indonesia Green Metric World University Ranking. We are pleased to have the University of Strathclyde today as part of our study abroad program. The increasing rate of individual with master degree and PhD appears to be crucial in advancing to global competition and improving higher education quality. Pursuing further study abroad prepares us to be more sensitive to cultural complexity, which is essential when participating in global interaction, especially in developing the UNS role in global education. We need the best human resource competent both in academic and cultural awareness. Pursuing further study abroad can be a challenge for some people. Language and culture barriers might be two factors that hinder taking further studies abroad. One of the hardest challenge is writing research paper proposal. I think so. Yeah. This is our hard challenge. This event start our effort to facilitate more lecture, especially UNS lectures, to write PhD proposal in the University of Strathclyde, which also providing information on pursuing master and PhD degree. Before ending my speech, I would like to thank IPEC for its excellent cooperation and connecting us with the University of Strathclyde. We hope that the University of Strathclyde and UNS will develop further partnership in research, teaching, and publication. I now wish to thank you for your attention and wish you have a fruitful session during this program. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Professor Sajidan, for the remark. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before proceeding to the main sessions, may I kindly invite you to turn on your camera for a group picture. And I would like to ask Indra or Aisyah to help me with the picture. All right, in the counting of 3. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 2 more slides. 1, 2, 3. And last one, 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you so much for the virtual picture. And now we move to the main sessions of the meeting, that is the presentations from the representatives of the University of Strathclyde on pursuing master's degree and PhD opportunities in the United Kingdom, especially the University of Strathclyde. I kindly invite Bapak Ferry Setiowibowo, PhD, Regional Partnership Coordinator for Oceania, to lead the sessions. Bapak Ferry, the platform is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Mbak Safitri. Good afternoon and good morning for all the participants, the distinguished guests, and also the Vice Rector of Vice Rector for ONS. I would like to welcome you all to the webinar session this afternoon. We have 3 speakers in this afternoon. The first is Mrs. Kimberly Hendron. She is the Senior International Officer for Southeast Asia of University of Strathclyde, and Mr. Gordon Dunlop, Senior International Officer for Postgraduate Research, and Ms. Tiffany Imron, she is the PhD in Design Management. So I believe all these the speakers after this will give you insight regarding the study in UK specifically, and how to make a proper PhD proposal for you to apply in the universities in United Kingdom. So without further ado, I would like to ask the speakers who wants to be the first speakers, whether it will be joint session, or maybe you want to have a specific session. Yes, Mr. Gordon, maybe? Okay, Ms. Kimberly, please.
Hi there. Yes. Hello, everyone. And thank you very much for the introductions. We're really delighted to be here. We'll maybe just start the session. If I could be given hosting duties, I can share my screen.
Okay.
That would be fantastic.
Yes. Yeah. Aisha or Indra, can you make
and me,
Kimberly, and also Pak Ferry?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, so I'm sorry, Kimberly. Maybe because the time, how much time would you need for this presentation?
Yes, so I'm going to start the presentation and I'm going to speak and give everyone a bit of an introduction about the University of Strathclyde, okay. A bit about some of our courses and postgraduate study options that are available at the university. I'm then going to pass over to my colleague Gordon, and he's going to go into more detail on postgraduate study, offering advice and some practical tips on a research proposal. And we're going to invite in Tiffany Imran, who's going to share some of her experiences as well. We'll then conclude the session with a bit of a Q&A. So I hope that is suitable.
Okay, that would be great. So all the participants, if you have any question, you can write down on the chat, and we will discuss that your question after the presentation. Okay. Okay, Mrs. Kimberly, your the time is yours.
Fantastic. If I can just confirm, you can all see my screen, my full screen, okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Not the full screen, Kimberly.
Not full screen.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the presenter view.
It's in percentage view. Okay, I'll just change that. See the full screen now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Okay.
fantastic.
Okay. Okay, so before I start, I'm just going to show you just a brief introductory video, which will give you some insight into studying at the University of Strathclyde.
Our achievements have been recognised with the award of the Times Higher Education's UK University of the Year, the first institution to receive the prestigious honour more than one. At the University of Strathclyde, we believe ideas can change the world. Our achievements have been recognised with the award of the Times Higher Education's UK University of the Year, the first institution to receive the prestigious honour more than once. This accolade follows our success as the Sunday Times Good University Guide Scottish University of the Year and the award of the Queen's Anniversary Prize for Excellence in Energy Innovation. Our multi-award-winning community is improving health, safeguarding energy, and using quantum to push the boundaries of imagination. We're addressing climate change, where big ideas are needed more than ever. Our One Ocean Hub is working with 50 partners to transform the world's response to plastic pollution, rising sea levels, and overfishing. Together, we're empowering those who are reliant on the ocean for food, jobs, and transport, while protecting it for future generations. In Scotland, we're bringing together the best minds from business, industry, and government in the country's first innovation district. We're creating jobs and developing a place where shared ideas can thrive. Along the river, Strathclyde is at the forefront of the National Manufacturing Institute Scotland, an international centre to drive innovation and skills development. Whether we're bringing space data to Earth or developing fintech, our technology is built with people in mind. We're supporting our people by creating an inspiring campus and investing in learning and teaching, research and innovation hubs. We believe our people's health and happiness is at the heart of our success. We've transformed our wellbeing services, and our new Strathclyde sport facilities are empowering elite athletes and those who are trying something new. As a socially progressive university, we are committed to openness. We're bringing people of all backgrounds together, making an impact on our students, our city, and our global community. It's a way of working that makes our alumni attractive to employers and draws partners from around the world. Working together, big ideas can improve the world.
So I hope that provided you all with just a bit of an insight into what it's like to be a student at the University of Strathclyde. And just a quick agenda. I'll go over what we're going to go through. So as I mentioned, we're going to discuss a little bit about the University of Strathclyde, a brief introduction, some of the faculties that we have and the postgraduate courses that we have on offer for our students. I'll talk a little bit about entry requirements and tuition fees, and then give you a bit of an insight into studying in the UK and what you can expect being a student in the city of Glasgow. I'm then going to conclude my part of the presentation with a bit of information on our application process before passing it over to my colleague Gordon, who's going to go into more detail on postgraduate research, and he's going to give you some insights and some practical tips on a research proposal. And we're going to invite in Tiffany, who's going to be sharing some of her experiences of being a student at the University of Strathclyde. Okay, so Founded in 1796, we're probably about a medium-sized institution with 23,000 students. Approximately 20% of those are international from over 154 different nationalities. We welcome in the region of about 150 students every year from Southeast Asia, students from Indonesia, from Singapore, from Thailand, from Vietnam. So quite a popular choice for students from Southeast Asia, but we also welcome students from America, from Australia, from elsewhere in Europe. So it's a really multicultural campus. We're home to 4 faculties. We have our business school, we have our faculty of engineering, our faculty of science, our faculty of humanities and life sciences. We are very fortunate to have been the recipient of various different awards and accolades over the years, some of which we're particularly proud of. One being the UK University of the Year by the Times Higher Education. So we've been awarded this prestigious award twice, once in 2012 and again in 2019. We were also voted by the Scottish Sunday Times Good University Guide, the Scottish University of the Year in 2020. So really fantastic to have such high accolades, and particularly for international students. It's great for them to be able to come and study at an institution in the UK and have a degree that is internationally recognised by such high accolades. Bit of an insight into some of our faculties and our courses then. First, just kind of starting with our Faculty of Engineering. We have lots on offer here. So we offer courses in architecture, biomedical engineering, chemical and process engineering, civil and environmental engineering, naval architecture. So quite a wide kind of range of courses. It is one of our oldest and most prestigious faculties, and many of our courses are ranked in the top 10 in the UK. You'll see here third for architecture, first for biomedical engineering, top 5 and top 10 for chemical and process engineering and civil and environmental engineering. We also have a Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences where we offer various different courses in education, government and public policy, law, history, education, social work and social policy. Communication and media studies is also a very popular course, particularly among our Indonesian cohort. And similarly to engineering, many of our courses are also ranked in the top 5 and top 10 in the UK. Moving on to our Faculty of Science then, we offer a wide range of courses, including biological sciences, pharmacy, medical technology and physics. We were first in the UK for forensic science, 7th for chemistry and 6th for biological sciences. It's also worth noting that we also have a lot of crossover with some of our science courses and our business courses, which is a very kind of unique proposition to be in. So we offer various different courses in big data, computer science with business analytics, and lots of various different variations for our students across faculties. And finally then, and probably our school that we're most known for is the Strathclyde Business School. So we offer various different courses in accounting and finance, economics, human resource management, management science, marketing, hospitality and tourism, and our MBA. We are one of only 3% of business schools globally that offer a triple accreditation by the AMBA, Equigis and AACSB. And many of our programs in the business school are top 10 in the UK. So it's a very popular faculty, our business school, and you won't be surprised to know that many of our international students would come and study in our business school. It's probably our most popular faculty. A little bit about some of our entry requirements then. So we offer courses on an undergraduate, a postgraduate and a PhD level. For our undergraduate classes, we do accept direct entry for A, B and A level. If you are studying local curriculum, you would require a foundation program. We do work with a foundation provider study group. So many of our students will do 1 year with our foundation provider and then gain direct entry into year 2 of our undergraduate programs. We have many different pathways available. Similarly, for postgraduate entry. We do accept direct entry into our postgraduate courses. However, we also have a foundation for our postgraduate courses as well. So should you not meet the entry requirements, you can do a one-way pathway into our postgraduate courses as well. We do ask for an IELTS into our courses. So we ask for an IELTS of 6.5 with no subtest less than 6. It is worth mentioning that we also have a pre-sessional English course on campus. So for students that don't meet the IELTS requirements, there is the option of doing our pre-sessional course, which is on campus, but also online. And we offer various different options, whether it be a 4-week, an 8-week, or a 12-week course for our students. So this is an English preparation, and if you don't meet the IELTS requirements, you can do our pre-sessional English course. If you do meet the IELTS requirements and still feel that you might need a little bit of preparation in advance of your studies, we also offer a 4-week course, which is completely free for all of our international students. And this would take place just before you start your degree programs, which are usually in September time. So this is a really good kind of USP for our university, just being able to make sure that our students are fully comfortable before they start their courses. A little bit about our costs then. So our tuition fee costs do vary depending on what course you choose to study and whether you're studying at an undergraduate or a postgraduate level. A little bit about the education system in Scotland. It is a little bit different than the rest of the UK, whereby we offer a 4-year undergraduate programme and a 1-year master's. A lot of universities in England, you might find, will be offering a 3-year undergraduate and a 2-year master's. So your overall time spent in education is the same. In Scotland, we just put more emphasis and focus on the undergraduate. Reason for that is we feel that it allows students a bit more flexibility in terms of their subject choices. They can study more of a vast range of subjects in year 1 and year 2, and then really focus and specialise in the subjects that are of most interest to them in years 3 and year 4. By adding an extra year onto the undergraduate degree, we also have a bit more flexibility in terms of allowing a work experience or a study abroad experience. So even though you are an international student coming to study, in a new country and a new university, you still have the option at studying at one of our partner institutions worldwide. So effectively, you can graduate with a degree from not only one, but 2 universities. Also, by having the postgraduate degree at only 1 year, it makes it a much more kind of cost-effective option for international students because they're only having to pay 1 year tuition fee rather than 2. What I would say, though, is having a postgraduate course condensed to only 12 months. It is quite full on. It's quite a full schedule. Usually they run September through to September. However, we have introduced January entry points to many of our courses. However, we get a lot of inquiries about students wanting to maybe do a part-time job alongside their masters, and we would always just say be very mindful that it can be quite a full schedule with it only being 12 months in duration. You'll see the range then, it really does vary depending on course, but for undergraduate, it will span between around 15,000 to 21,000 Great British pounds per year. And our postgraduate courses will be spanning between kind of 14 to 24,000 pounds per year. What I will say is that the cost of living in Scotland and in Glasgow is a lot cheaper than other parts of the UK. So we would usually advise students they would need approximately, for undergraduate, 9,000 Great British pounds per year, and for postgraduate, 12,000 pounds per year. Obviously, this is very subjective because everyone has their own individual spending habits. However, this just kind of gives you a bit of an indication of what you're likely to need for budget purposes, for your rent, for your food costs, for your travel, general kind of living costs. And if I could maybe put this in comparison, in London, for example, the capital, you would probably need in the region of kind of around £11,000 for rent alone. So, you know, Glasgow is seen as, you know, a much kind of cheaper and more cost-effective option. And it's one of the reasons, I guess, why it is attractive to international students. Scholarships, we do have scholarships available across all of our faculties, and scholarships are via application. So you would make an application to the scholarship via our website. We don't have any full scholarships, but what we do have is partial scholarships. So they're a contribution towards your overall course fee. And we would advise students that they would submit an application to our scholarships portal alongside submitting an application to the overall course. So we look for things like your academic performance, we'll review a transcript of your grades, but we'll also look at a personal statement. So reasons why you want to study this particular course, reasons why you've chosen the University of Strathclyde, and we'll also ask for references as well. So ideally one academic and one professional. However, if you don't have any professional, if you don't have any work experience just yet, 2 academic will suffice as well. A little bit of an introduction about Glasgow and Scotland and where we are. So for those of you that aren't familiar, Glasgow is one of the largest, well, it is the largest cities in Scotland. And we are probably about 45 minutes by train to Edinburgh, which is the capital. We are very fortunate that we have a city centre location. So you'll see on this campus map here in blue is where the University of Strathclyde is situated. And it's all really within walking distance to the main city centre and everything that Glasgow has to offer. So I know having been to kind of Indonesia myself and been to Jakarta, it's a very, very vast city. Glasgow is somewhat different. And when I tell international students that actually you can walk very easily, you don't necessarily need public transport, a lot of students find that quite difficult to believe. But in essence, Glasgow is very, very convenient for students. And I think this is another reason why it's very popular, and because it's very easy to become accustomed to the city pretty quickly. Everything is really within kind of walking distance. You're within kind of a 5-10 minute walking distance to the main shopping district in Glasgow, to all of our cafes and restaurants and various different eateries that you can have. We've got our gallery of modern art, our outdoor parks and spaces, and you're also within kind of a 10-minute walking distance to the main bus station with direct links to the airport. So it really is a very kind of convenient city and very easy to navigate. And we also tell our students, you know, they don't really need the use of a car or public transport. Everything is very, very accessible. A little bit just about Glasgow then. So we are the 4th largest city in the UK, and Glasgow, and actually in ancient Scottish language, means dear green place, because we have over 90 parks and green spaces. We have various different award-winning museums and galleries, and an international airport, which has direct links to Dubai and then on to Indonesia and various other locations within Southeast Asia. So it really is very convenient in terms of travel back home for families visiting, but also elsewhere in the UK. You know, if you do have time when you're here and you want to explore other parts of the UK or indeed Europe, it's all very accessible because we're home to 2 airports within very close distance to the main campus of Strathclyde. Another thing to mention about Glasgow is our proximity to the beautiful kind of outdoors and highlands, all within probably kind of an hour away from the city. You are in the beautiful kind of highlands of Scotland, really kind of beautiful mountains and lakes, or lochs as they're known affectionately in Scotland. So if you like the outdoors, good thing about Glasgow is you get a bit of both. So you can get the real kind of cosmopolitan city vibe, but you're very, very close to kind of nature and the outdoors and hiking and walking and all kind of outdoor activities. And I'm just going to give you just a brief, another brief video, which is just going to show you just a little bit from a student perspective of why they decided to study at the university.
The reason why I came here is because I wanted something to really challenge me, so that's why I came all the way here to Scotland, and I haven't regretted it. I was blown away by the facilities here. Strathclyde to me has opened my eyes to what a university can be. I'm taking 5 classes here. So one of them is more of a presentation class. I remember working with many Scottish students in a group. We got to know one another better. I got to know more of the Scottish culture, and that was really good. There's just this sort of magical thing that like whoever comes to Glasgow, they just naturally have this Glasgow culture of being very warm and friendly. People can just start talking to you on the streets and at traffic lights. I remember when I first came here on my very first day when I landed, and I was carrying 2 heavy 20 kg luggages, and I was coming all the way here. And I passed by an old lady, and she said to me, "Young man, do you need help carrying this 20 kg luggage?" So when I heard it, I was like, wow, this was like the first impression that I have of Glasgow culture. Of course, I didn't make her carry my luggage because I'll feel bad about it afterwards. But I thanked her for her offer, and it really just struck me that this really is how warm and friendly people are here in Glasgow. I've been to the Highlands 3 times. So I remember my very first time was to Loch Ness. I wanted to find a monster. And I remember just standing there, and I thought to myself, wow, this really is Loch Ness. I can't believe I'm here all the way from Singapore. There is a very diverse set of students here, but multinational, multicultural. And I think it all adds up to a very beautiful and wonderful end product, because we are all striving for having a more inclusive society where we include everyone from all races and all religions. So it really broadened my mind to a lot of new things, not just meeting new people, but also to new ideas. I'm really happy everything turned out good.
So I hope that was useful just to see from really kind of an international student perspective, some of the benefits and some of the reasons why he chose to come and study at the university. And I'm just going to conclude briefly by talking just a bit about our application process. So for undergraduate programs, we do accept UCAS applications, but also direct applications via our website. And the same with our undergraduate our postgraduate programs rather. So it's a direct application via our website. And we work very closely with IBEC and Hendra and the team with any applications. So they'll be able to assist and provide some guidance on the ground in Indonesia with any kind of application inquiries that you do have. And that can conclude my part of the session, which I hope you find useful, just giving you a bit of an insight into the University of Strathclyde. But I'm going to pass you over to my colleague Gordon now, and he's going to go into much more detail on postgraduate research. And I'll just pass you over now, Gordon.
Thank you, Kimberly. We'll just share. So we've got a new presentation now for PhD study. So we'll just get that set up.
Hello,
Okay.
Gordon.
Yes.
I'm sorry. May I interrupt a little while? I want to share. I want to shout out to the participant. If they have a question, they can write down on the chat box. You can either write it on English or Bahasa Indonesia. Later on, I will translate if you are not quite sure how to ask in a proper way. Okay, please, Gordon, time is yours.
Thank you. Okay, so I'll just start off with a brief overview of PhD study at the University of Strathclyde. So we're now going to kind of switch focus and focus on postgraduate research studies. So Tiffany, if you can maybe move on to the next slide, please. Yeah, so Kimberly's touched on the first couple of points here in her presentation there, some of the history of Strathclyde and some of the recent awards. We are, as well as having a wealth of top programs, as you saw in the last presentation, we are a very research intensive university as well. So you can see there, the Times Higher Education, we're a top 20 UK institution for research intensity across all 4 faculties. So we're very well known across the business, humanities, science and engineering for our research. Much of that takes place collaboratively with the private sector and with government as well. So there's a lot of input from external organizations, and that kind of ties in with the research centers that we have. So there are, as well as the kind of research that is undertaken on campus, we have 11 bespoke research centres. So there's 3 examples there. We have the Maritime Safety Research Centre. There's Strathclyde GSK Institute, so GlaxoSmithKline, who are obviously incredibly prominent just now, as well as the other pharmaceuticals, with the spotlight being shone on these companies throughout the pandemic. There's also the Strathclyde Centre for Environmental Law and Governance, and these are just some of the 3 of the 11. We have the Advanced Manufacturing Centre, which is based at Glasgow Airport and encompasses aerospace engineering as well. So there's all sorts of specialist bespoke research centres, which are collaborative spaces between industry, government and academic research. Part of our PhD offering as well, we try to provide a much more kind of holistic PhD offering. So yes, the kind of academic experience and the academic journey at PhD is a big part of your PhD journey, but equally we want to kind of provide PhD students with a platform where they can engage with other PhD students. They can engage perhaps in formal or informal cross-disciplinary research. So for example, researchers in humanities or social science subjects may need to interact with engineers, or with business school subjects. It might be how to kind of commercialize your patent or your research, for example. So the doctoral school provides that platform. So it's a school which supports the whole kind of PhD journey for students. So you're not studying in isolation. You're part of this doctoral school where all PhD students come together and they have a sense of community on campus. Part of the PhD journey as well is this PG Cert in researcher professional development as well. So that's a postgraduate qualification that you will undertake in conjunction with your PhD, and really that's designed to give you the skill set, or develop the skills that you will already have developed in your previous university study, but just to ensure that there's continuing professional development there with a view to your employability in academic spheres, either in universities or externally. And part of that does include kind of teaching experience, for example, and being able to kind of tutor undergraduate students, but equally is focused on kind of building the transferable, shall we say, kind of softer skills required for a career in academia. If you could move on to the next slide, please, Tiffany. Okay, so I won't dwell too much on this one. So Kimberly touched on the 4 faculties: engineering, business school, science and humanities, and social sciences. And this slide, so we can share these presentations with you all after. So you'll have this for reference, and you can see here the kind of key strategic research themes across each faculty. And the website has much more detailed information on the kind of research that's undertaken across these faculties and their various departments. Okay, next one, Tiffany, please. Okay, so let me introduce our colleague Tiffany. So Tiffany has very kindly agreed to join us to talk a bit about her experience at Strathclyde. So Tiffany joined us as a master's student and has since progressed through a PhD at Strathclyde, doing a PhD in design management, to the point where she now works full-time with the university as a knowledge exchange fellow within the Department of Design, Manufacturing and Engineering Management. So Tiffany's a fantastic kind of advocate for Strathclyde and a great example of a kind of successful career trajectory with us from Masters through PhD and on to employment with the university. So I'll now pass over to Tiffany, and she's going to talk a little bit more about her experience and particularly focused on the PhD journey and application process. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thanks, Gordon. Selamat sore. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mungkin saya bakal mix bahasa Indonesia sama bahasa Inggris ya, mungkin agak capek telinganya dengar bahasa Inggris saya juga kalau seharian habis dengar orang ngomong bahasa Inggris terus saya kepala udah meledak mau pecah. Jadi saya hari ini saya mungkin cover sedikit tentang background saya, bagaimana melakukan PhD atau mungkin belajar ya sebagai orang Indonesia di UK. Apa sih tantangannya, tapi apa juga keuntungannya gitu belajar di sini. Terus sedikit saya akan membicarakan tentang research proposal, apa basic rules-nya, karena dulu saya juga menulis research proposal dan saya sempat mengevaluasi research proposal untuk masuk PhD di jurusan saya. Apa sih common mistakes-nya dan beberapa top tips berdasarkan pengalaman saya. Kalau ada pertanyaan, if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat. But unfortunately, I have to jump out. Saya harus keluar jam 9:30 for another meeting. But I'm sure if there's any specific question for me, Gordon or Kimberly or even Pak Hendra from IBEC can help to pass it over to me, and I'll try to help as much as I can. Saya dari Surabaya, saya lulusan ITS tahun 2006, lulusnya udah lama juga ya, jurusan teknik industri. Terus kemudian saya pindah ke Glasgow tahun 2011 untuk belajar master, pindah ke Denmark tahun 2012, jadi emang program masternya 2 tahun, ini full scholarship dari Erasmus Mundus, dan I fell in love immediately with Glasgow, with Scotland and Strathclyde. When I did my master back in 2011, then I decided to come back when I have the opportunity. I had the offer to do PhD in 2013 with full scholarship. Apa sih sebenarnya keuntungannya untuk belajar di luar negeri ya? Secara general nggak cuma PhD aja. Yang pertama itu kita terekspos ke international community, not just academic. Kalau untuk pelajar PhD mungkin semua peneliti yang kita cuma lihat, we only know the name from journal, from books. We had a chance to meet them and to learn from them. I remember my first international conference, I was starstruck. And I'm not planning, saya nggak berencana untuk stay di dunia akademisi, tapi saya melihat nama-nama itu di jurnal yang saya baca, dan ketika ketemu dengan orangnya langsung dan bisa diskusi, dan akhirnya menjalin network dengan mereka, that was quite a big thing, dan keuntungan yang kita nggak bisa dapat gitu kalau kita nggak belajar di sini. Terus kita juga knowledge-nya, mindset akan berubah ketika kita ada di luar negeri. Hal-hal yang tadinya kita pikir apa sih, what is that? You see it here, bahwa ada dunia lain di luar Indonesia yang orang yang cara hidupnya, yang culture-nya sangat berbeda gitu. Dan secara pribadi, secara profesional kita juga akan berkembang sangat pesat kalau kita mengizinkan diri kita untuk berkembang, karena kayak critical thinking di sini sangat harus ya, time management, kita juga akan lebih confidence karena terpaksa harus confidence, kalau enggak kita nggak akan bisa maju kemana-mana gitu. Dan resilience, karena jujur aja hidup di luar negeri memang nggak gampang, dan disinilah kayak tempaan hidup yang sebenarnya tuh akan kita terima. Tapi tentu aja juga banyak challenge-nya ya. Yang pertama tentu language, because in here everyone speaks English, and the accent, I'm sure Gordon and Kimberly will laugh at me right now because it's really thick accent, especially in Scotland, Glasgow. I had a lot of problems the first month I live here. I couldn't understand what the people say at all. Tapi lama-lama akan terbiasa kok. Dan culture-nya juga, I would say people in Glasgow, mereka lebih kayak orang Jawa ya. Mereka sangat baik, orangnya bukan halus sih. Orangnya friendly, they're very friendly, they like to speak to people, mereka suka menyapa orang. Makanya saya cocok gitu karena di sini orang-orangnya sangat-sangat friendly dibanding daerah yang lain. And it's different educational system. As I said, critical thinking is a very important thing. Dan kita di Indonesia, waktu saya belajar, saya merasa critical thinking ini tidak terasa gitu. Dan yang ketiga, cuacanya sih memang beda banget sama Indonesia. Di Indonesia kita cuma punya panas sama nggak panas. Nggak nih, panas dan panas banget ya, sama sedikit hujan. Kalau di sini, every day is different. Even one day you can have 4 different weather, and it's always cold and raining. But you'll get used to it. You just need to put some more clothing, and you'll be fine, I guess. Okay, sekarang tentang research proposal. Gordon will touch and discuss more about the technical things. But I will discuss more about like more practical as Indonesian and all the difficulties that we face. As Indonesian, based on my experience and based on the research proposal that I reviewed. Sebenarnya apa sih basicnya research proposal itu? Yang pertama itu harus terstruktur. Yang kedua harus formal dan critical. Critical artinya bukan negatif ya, tapi melihat sesuatu dari berbagai sisi. Terstruktur, secara general itu strukturnya ada introduction, body, sama conclusion. Apapun itu, kita harus lihat nanti requirement dari tiap university biasanya berbeda. Ada yang tidak ada requirement-nya sama sekali, tapi apapun itu, proposal harus terstruktur dan kita harus bisa menjustifikasi strukturnya. Apakah itu dari yang general to specific, apakah itu dari yang sangat penting ke tidak penting, tetap harus ada strukturnya biar flow-nya enak ketika dibaca. Yang kedua harus formal ya, jadi bukan seperti bahasa email yang kita tulis, tapi ini karena ini academic paper, jadi harus formal. Jadi tidak boleh ada contraction, kalau it's ya it is, kalau don't ya do not, dan lain-lain. Dan seperti yang saya bilang tadi critical, jadi harus berdasarkan argumen yang didasari evidence atau bukti yang kuat, bukan cuma personal opinion yang kita nggak tahu dasarnya dari mana. Common mistakes yang saya temui dan yang saya lakukan juga, yang pertama itu informal, jadi pakai slang. Tapi ini biasanya kita nggak sadar gitu kita pakai itu karena itu yang bahasa sehari-hari yang kita lihat dari TV misalnya, dari film atau dari yang kita baca. Jadi di sini harus hati-hati sekali. Misalnya kayak kids itu bahasa formalnya children, atau informalnya a lot, a couple of, itu bahasa formalnya ada. Saya yakin kalau di googling ini pasti ada kok, cuman hati-hati di sini. Terus yang kedua, ini yang paling banyak terjadi international students terutama adalah plagiarism. Sebagian besar kasus plagiat itu karena mereka tidak tahu bahwa harus appropriately cited gitu. Jadi if it's not based on your own thinking, Anda harus memberi kredit orang yang punya pikiran awal itu. Gitu. Terus direct quotations alias tanda petik itu ya, apa yang orang lain bilang, saya dulu nggak pernah diajari ini, setahu saya, seingat saya ya, tapi di sini ternyata satu paper research proposal, terutama dia nggak banyak kan ya, paling hanya beberapa halaman, itu nggak boleh isinya cuman menyalin apa kata-kata orang gitu, kita harus merephrase menggunakan kata-kata kita sendiri. Terus yang selanjutnya adalah kadang-kadang kita pengen keren nih pakai thesaurus atau sinonim yang kita ambil dari words ya, tapi kita nggak ngecek sebenarnya ini sesuai dengan konteks di kalimat itu apa enggak. Itu juga penting, coba digunakan tuh Google Translate-nya. Dan inconsistent spelling. UK sama US itu spellingnya beda. Kalau UK pakai S kebanyakan, jadi misalnya organizations itu pakai S, kalau US pakai Z. Apapun yang dipilih harus konsisten ya untuk seluruh paper gitu. Sebisa mungkin kalau ini research proposal untuk UK ya gunakan spelling UK. Spelling dan grammatical error ini sebenarnya sangat simple, tapi kalau ini terjadi di paper, it can be very annoying. Jadi kalau bisa minta untuk di proofread. Top tips dari saya, yang pertama, cari tahu apa sih requirements dari research proposal yang harus ditulis gitu. Berapa halaman, berapa words, ada strukturnya atau tidak, baca sampai mengerti. Kalau nggak tahu, tanya. Karena kadang-kadang kita ngeliat sekilas, tapi nggak. Karena following instruction is very important. Misalnya requirement wordingsnya 500 words, but we only write 100 words. That won't be seen as a good thing as well gitu. Karena kita dianggap tidak, kenapa ada 400 words yang knowledge kita nggak banyak gitu. Begitu juga dengan kita ketika 500 words, kita nulisnya 800 words. That's also not good karena kita berarti nggak bisa menyampaikan ide kita dengan concise. Jadi pay attention very carefully with the requirements. And then plan. Planning is very important. Plan it as much detail as you can. Karena research proposal itu, ingat kita udah bukan S1. Mungkin kalau S1 bisa gitu ya. Tapi research proposal, it requires a lot of thinking, a lot of research to show the level of education the level of knowledge that you will take. Jadi sedetail mungkin. Ini akan mempermudah penulisan, trust me. And us as a reviewer, kita tahu kok kalau proposal itu dikerjakan dalam cepet-cepetan, dalam waktu beberapa hari itu kita bisa lihat itu gitu. Itu terlihat dari tulisannya. So give enough time. SKS, sistem kebut semalam, nggak bisa untuk research proposal. And when you do PhD or even when you do your master, SKS itu susah banget dan itu nanti akan tampak dari hasil tulisannya. Do your research enough to start writing and then do it as you go along. Jadi ketika kita menulis, lakukan research lagi, tapi jangan terjebak dengan baca dan nggak mulai-mulai. Kadang-kadang kita mencari alasan dengan baca dulu sampai akhirnya udah bingung sendiri gitu. Duh, mulainya dari mana nih? Just start writing and then do your research as you go along. And just don't worry that you will get it right the first time because you won't, and don't worry if it will be perfect because it won't be. Jadi tulis aja gitu. Just write your research proposal. Just start. Nanti lama-lama akan bisa it's an evolving piece of work as well gitu. Dan banyak kasus yang terjadi, bukan kasus sih, banyak yang terjadi juga. Research proposal yang disubmit nanti hasil risetnya juga jauh banget sama research proposalnya. It happens gitu. Jadi don't to worry too much about get it perfect. Terus untuk yang lebih kayak lebih ke arah mungkin sedikit teknikal ya. Kadang-kadang kita itu nulis itu bulet kalau bahasa orang Jawa. Jadi aturan, kalau saya sih selalu saya bilang sama students, terutama yang dari Indonesia atau Asia ya, use short sentence and paragraph biar nggak membulet. Jadi intinya if you cannot read a sentence in one breath, break it down. Kalau nggak bisa, kalau baca satu paragraf terus bingung, ini pokok pikirannya apa ya? Berarti itu saatnya paragraf itu dievaluasi dan mungkin harusnya dipecah jadi 2 atau mungkin jadi 3 gitu. Dan overuse which or that, karena di bahasa Indonesia ini cuma satu kan, yang, kita banyak banget pakai yang ini. Tapi di bahasa Inggris we cannot. If you use it too much, berarti itu saatnya dipecah jadi sentence, jadi kalimat yang berbeda. Say what you say and mean say what you mean and mean what you say. Jadi jangan di kata-kata yang berbunga-bunga itu in academic paper, especially in the UK, not gonna work. Jadi bulat terus habis gitu, kalimatnya berflower, bersayap. Misalnya mau bilang apel itu merah, tapi bulat ngomongin tentang pear dulu, ngomongin tentang jeruk dulu. That won't help, especially karena research proposal itu biasanya mereka mintanya cuma halamannya sedikit ya, nggak banyak. Kemudian proofread your work, baca beberapa kali, atau minta orang lain, atau pakai Google Translate atau apapun teknologi yang bisa membantu kita untuk memproofread. Minta tolong orang lain itu biasanya yang paling berguna sih, karena mereka biasanya bisa melihat kesalahan-kesalahan yang kita udah nggak bisa pick up karena kita terlalu dekat sama hasil pekerjaan kita. Nggak usah malu, karena lebih baik mereka yang nangkep daripada nanti ditangkap sama potential supervisor yang kita tuju ya kan. And once you submit, kasih waktu untuk potential supervisor, untuk profesor ini untuk ngecek, karena mereka tuh orang yang sangat sibuk gitu. Kadang kita lupa kalau kita tuh mungkin priority nomor 12.000 sekian ya. Jadi kasih mereka waktu sebulan. Kalau memang nanti sebulan nggak ada kabar, baru coba diingatkan dengan pelan-pelan gitu, with very respectful. Tapi kalau memang ada deadline, misalnya Dikti kasih deadline, LPDP kasih deadline, let them know, but give them enough time to review your proposal. And also kadang-kadang kita itu take it personally ya. Misalnya dia bilang ini kok nggak bagus gitu, dikasih kritik dari mereka, kita udah sedih banget. Karena mereka tidak bermaksud gitu. Maksudnya mereka tuh untuk membantu. Cuman kadang-kadang emang personality tiap orang beda-beda ya. Kadang-kadang mereka straightforward dan tidak diberi kata yang berbunga-bunga gitu. Especially kalau orang UK langsung, mereka biasanya akan sangat straightforward. Don't take it personally. Ambil itu sebagai oke, berarti ada sesuatu yang harus aku improve gitu. And it's good because it means that they are interested in your work. Kalau enggak, mereka pasti bakal langsung reject gitu. Dan kalau ada feedback yang mereka minta dibalas, responded in a timely manner. Sebisa mungkin jadikan itu prioritas, karena mereka sudah memberi prioritas ke kita. Gitu. I think that's it for me. I think I'm on time. I will give it back to Gordon. And as I said, if you have any question, because I have to jump out for another meeting, just let Gordon knows, and I'm sure he will help to pass it over to me. Thank you. I hope it's
Thank you so
useful.
much. And yeah, well done for making your meeting. Thank you so much. I know that your time is precious and you've got other responsibilities across the university. So thank you so much for
No worries.
sharing your experience and all that intel with us.
Thanks, Gordon. I'll catch up with you later.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mrs. Stephanie and Gordon. Is there any other presentation?
There is, yeah. So I'll just share my screen.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so can you all see my full screen?
Yes.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so Tiffany's kind of run through her experience there, and particularly the application process and the research proposal stage of the PhD journey. So what I wanted to kind of do now is just give more of a broad overview of PhD study in the UK, and the kind of expectations that we have as universities when we're looking to kind of attract PhD students and what we expect of those students, but equally some advice and information for you as potential applicants and what you should be looking for from your PhD study, from the University of Study, and from the kind of location as well. So as Tiffany has kind of touched on, that there are some basic requirements that all PhD students will be required to fulfill. So entry requirements will vary by institution, and even within institutions, they can vary by faculty and by department. So using the University of Strathclyde as an example, some faculties will require undergraduate and a postgraduate degree, but some of the more technical subjects or practical subjects like engineering and science, there may be more scope to jump from undergraduate study directly to PhD. So it's important to kind of familiarize yourself with the precise requirements at the university of your choosing. So there will be English language requirements as well. So again, Tiffany touched on that in her presentation. At the University of Strathclyde, our general kind of requirements for PhD are 6.5 in IELTS or equivalent tests. So we do accept a range of different tests, and that information is available in more detail on our website. Okay, so what does a PhD candidate look for in a university? So there's a lot of important things to consider. Now you want to kind of look at the research quality of the institution as a whole. So we touched earlier on Strathclyde and our kind of top 20 ranking in Times Higher Education in research intensity. So it's important to kind of look at the standing of the university overall, but equally it's important too to kind of look at the department that you'll be studying in. So you may find that a very highly ranked university has great kind of research community, broadly speaking, but in your particular subject, they're not very strong. And a university that you might not consider actually has the #1 department for research in your chosen field. So it's important to kind of drill down into the department, into the academic staff that are working in that department, because you will have many examples across the UK and indeed across the world of really specialised departments in particular fields of study. So make sure that you're kind of doing that research ahead of kind of choosing your chosen institution. And that also translates to kind of departmental level and supervisor level as well. So the supervisor that you approach and that you choose will have a big bearing on the success of your PhD and also the journey that you're on as well. So you certainly want to do some research on their kind of research output. That information is available on most university websites. The researchers will have a profile of their research and their credentials, and because that relationship is going to be a big part of your PhD journey. And then you also want to consider life outside the university as well. So I touched earlier in the presentation about the Strathclyde Doctoral School and how that tries to provide more of a kind of holistic experience for PhD students and building a sense of community while at the university. So that is very much an important part as well. You don't want to be in a situation where you're just stuck in one kind of corner of the university and you're only engaging with people from your department. I think there's more and more realization that we need to kind of look at interdisciplinary education and cross-disciplinary research that can all add value to your PhD experience. But further to that, it is important to look at the physical location you'll be studying in, so that the type of city that really engages you, that you're going to enjoy studying in. Now, obviously, a PhD can take a minimum of 3 years, so it's a big commitment to your life. And Tiffany touched on some of the great aspects of life in Glasgow, for example, or life in the UK. But equally, there are things like the weather and things like the language and cultural differences, which will be challenging, particularly in the initial stages. So it's important to kind of choose the location that fits best with your kind of your motivations in terms of your study and your life, your study life balance. Okay, and so what does a university look for in a PhD candidate? So we want to see, as well as the kind of academic credentials that we touched on before with the kind of previous study at university, undergraduate and if required, postgraduate level. But equally, we want to see in your application a real passion, a knowledge of, and a deep interest in the subject matter. So PhD study is obviously very kind of in-depth, quite an intense academic experience. You'll be focused on a particular area of your subject matter for at least 3 years of your life. So you need that drive and passion for the subject. That's really a kind of fundamental piece. So it's very important that you are selective and choose the right kind of focus and specialization for your PhD study. There may, in some cases, depending on the university, depending on the department, there may be a PhD interview as well. So again, you'd want to kind of be able to communicate that knowledge and that passion and that level of interest in your area of study. we touched on the kind of academic requirements. So for the application itself, as well as that research proposal, we'd look for an academic CV, cover letter or personal statement, and obviously academic references as well. Okay, so Tiffany obviously spent a lot of time kind of discussing the research proposal and Tiffany's experience of that. So I won't dwell too much on these slides, but as I say, we will share the presentation afterwards, so you will have these slides for reference. But essentially, it is an in-depth piece of work. It's almost like the thing that's going to convince a supervisor to take you on as a PhD student. So naturally, it is very involved, but it's an evolving piece of work. So it's something that you might take kind of many weeks, perhaps even months over, gathering information and really kind of improving it to the point where it's ready for submission. And that kind of evolution can take place in communication or collaboration with the academic department at your university of choice and the potential supervisors there. So often PhD students may come with an idea of what they would like to study, but through conversation with the supervisor, discussions around the kind of research priorities and strengths of that academic department, the research proposal that you submit may change, may evolve depending on the requirements of the department. But again, it's another opportunity just to convince the supervisors of your interests and your knowledge within the area, but equally of the importance of your research as well. So as a university, but also with funding bodies as well, the research proposal serves as a vehicle to really convince these stakeholders on the impact and influence that your research and your PhD will have. And so I think Tiffany touched on this as well. So there will be certain structures for research proposals, but they will vary from one university to another or from one department to another as well. So for example, within our own university, we have the 4 faculties we touched on. You may find that the research proposal requirements for the business school and humanities and social sciences, where research is more discursive, there may be kind of slightly different requirements to the depth of the research proposal as compared to science and engineering, which is more practical and technical based. But proposals will differ by university in terms of length and in terms of those precise requirements. But as Tiffany touched on as well, don't be deterred. It can seem like a daunting piece of work, but equally it is something that will support your research. The research proposal is a great kind of starting block for your actual research during your PhD. So it's worth kind of investing the time in. And this slide just actually gives a sense of the research proposal requirements and the structure of that at the University of Strathclyde. So that's a good reference point for our own research proposals. And you can see here, it's kind of outlined at each stage of the academic document. So there's a good kind of template there for your reference. And there is lots of further advice available as well. So we've obviously tapped into the knowledge and experience of Tiffany, and although she's unfortunately unable to join the Q&A session, we can certainly direct any questions to her and she'd be happy to follow up. IBEC are with us as well. So Hendra, Eva and the team at IBEC can also guide you in they've kind of fantastic knowledge of UK higher education institutions and their particular strengths, So they'll be able to direct you to the right university for you, or to give you a sense, or even help you build a shortlist. And equally, they'll be well aware of the kind of application requirements for each university, and can help you navigate that process. University websites are important as well. So all universities will have kind of in-depth detail on their PhD offering in terms of the research strengths of various departments, the types of PhDs you can study. There will be information on funding opportunities, and supervisor contacts as well. And do reach out to departmental staff. So if there is a specific area you're interested in at a university, there will be departmental staff who are responsible for PhD recruitment, like myself at Strathclyde, but even alumni of the university, and tap into the kind of the networks across universities and across your own university in Indonesia, where there are bound to be UK alumni who can support in that journey as well. And then there are external websites too. So organizations like Find a PhD and Prospects provide tailored information for that application journey as well. Okay, so that's the end of our presentation stage. So happy to hand back to you for the Q&A session.
Thank you very much, Gordon. Yeah, I would like to give a conclusion, not a conclusion, but sum up for the presentation. The first is that to get the opportunity to study in the UK, we have to provide some kind of a proposal, but it is not an exact proposal. Maybe you can develop or maybe add some more later on, but it is only the statement of what you are going to study. I think it is quite challenging for the specifically in Indonesia, that the PhD program is not required to make a proposal. So this is a new for specifically for the United Kingdom or any abroad PhD program. The second, if you are interested in study PhD or master postgraduate in UK, we also have here EBEC. Maybe Pak Hendra would like to add some more, what kind of help that you can provide to the lecturer that wants to go to pursue their postgraduate program.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Pak Ferry.
Yes, Pak.
Good afternoon, everyone. That was a very interesting topics that you mentioned earlier, Gordon. Regarding the scholarships, this is something that I've been talking to every lecturers that I've been meeting so far. Just last weekend, we met with a lot of lecturers coming from Lampung, Riau, Makassar, and Papua. They are not aware about the funding that is actually now available from Indonesian government to any lectures from Indonesia. As long as you are Indonesian, you are lecturers, you can actually apply the funding for PhD. They'll be paying all the costs, they'll be paying all the expenses during your research. So I always encourage everyone to get the funding from LPDP, because there are not a lot of lecturers aware about it. What is needed is actually once, if, and this is where we come across and assist the prospective PhD students. If you need to get an offer from Strathclyde for your PhD program, then we will assist you to sort of connect and process the admission. What we do here is actually from A to Z. we don't actually limit our service because we are acting as the representative. In fact, we've been actually representing University of Strathclyde since the year of 1994, if I'm not mistaken, when our managing director started the consultation business. So yeah, we are more than happy to assist anyone who's thinking about getting an offer from Strathclyde for their PhD. What is needed is that, as Gordon mentioned earlier, a research proposal, a proper research proposal submitted to us, plus your supporting documents. Then we'll review from there. Once we have all the details, we will communicate with the university and we'll put you into CC so that you will know and you'll be involved in the communication with the university. So basically, we will connect you with the university and potential supervisor that is available at the university. So yeah, that will be all, Pak Ferry.
Thank you very much, Pak Hendra. So all the participants here, if you are trying to pursue postgraduate, maybe PhD or a master degree in UK specifically, we can bridge your application specifically. Maybe if Strathclyde, if you are interested to University of Strathclyde, we will more than happy because we have Gordon here that can help you to get your acceptance list, letter of offer, or maybe required document for you to get the application to LPDP. So basically, you have here the support support team for you to get the required document to get to apply for LPDP. So that's one step. So the other one is you have to prepare yourself the proposal. So basically, the proposal is what Gordon has mentioned that he already provided in a link and also the presentation previously. You only have to elaborate those steps and those requirements. So maybe there is a question here in the chat box. So basically, you already exposed what kind of requirement, what kind of study you can have, and what kind of help that you can get to get the required scholarship to go to the UK. Okay, I will start with the question from Ibu. Oh, sorry. So you already answered to Ibu Pamadia, so I won't ask for that again. And from Bapak Dimas Rahadian, in the University of Strathclyde, do you normally divide PhD research and into several work package, or maybe he asked about research, doing PhD research by research or by course maybe. So is there any differences between PhD by program and PhD by research? And then the second, for Indonesian student from Indonesia who are funded by Indonesian institutions, is it possible to choose a professor from Indonesia as their co-promoter? So basically, we also can, the university can join, if there any possible for the university professor to join the team, professor team in the University of Strathclyde. That's the question from Pak Dimas. Please, Gordon.
Yeah, I mean, there are definite possibilities across the faculties and departments. So, I mean, we do have visiting professors across a number of our academic departments. I think what would be required, first of all, is to kind of build a relationship between either the individuals. So sometimes these can be on a formal or a kind of a less formal basis. Like it can often just begin as collaborative research between two academics, and that then kind of evolves into more formalized kind of research and collaboration, to the point where if there is the kind of the scope or the ability for kind of perhaps even staff exchange, or for a lecturer to come from Indonesia to Scotland to kind of in a kind of visiting capacity. That's definitely something that exists across the university, but it would be driven by the kind of research department or faculty. So what I mean, I mentioned in the presentation that our website has a list of the various academic departments, and within that there are links to the kind of research staff within those departments. So it may just be a case of initiating conversation with the person that is active in your specific discipline, and then seeing where you can kind of develop the relationship from there. As I say, it will probably begin with a kind of perhaps even just an informal chat around the scope of your research and how that coincides with the research being undertaken at the department, and we would see how the relationship evolves from there. But equally at kind of the university level or at faculty level, there is scope to kind of build a more formal partnership relationship between the two universities as well. So mapping out the kind of the overlap between research and where there is opportunity for collaboration, for staff mobility, for student exchange. So I think we discussed these kind of options and opportunities in the initial meeting we had. So from our end, that would again be driven by the faculty teams, and Indonesia is very much on our agenda as a university to kind of explore partnership opportunities and identify universities that we can collaborate with. So we can certainly kind of make recommendations to our faculty colleagues to kind of investigate further.
Okay, thank you very much, Gordon. So this is an interesting opportunity for UNS and Strathclyde to strengthen their collaboration. Yeah. So any of the participants who would like to pursue a PhD in University of Strathclyde or specifically in UK, Gordon will have. I mean, specifically University of Strathclyde, Gordon can help. So the other question is from Ida Fitria. She asked that how to apply for the PhD program. Is it by contacting the supervisor first, or strictly to the university first? Maybe through international office, or directly to the supervisors?
Yes, so both options are available to you. So I can share my email address, and you can email me, and I can kind of walk you through the application process. For some departments, students are encouraged to kind of contact the supervisors or the potential supervisors directly and begin that conversation. I think the first thing to do when kind of starting the application process is to kind of have in your mind the topic, the research topic that you're looking to undertake, and perhaps draw up. So we don't need a full research proposal at this stage, but even just like a one-page summary, 500 words of the scope of your research and what you're looking to focus on, and that can certainly help to facilitate that conversation with a supervisor. So that's one option, approaching supervisors directly with this kind of one-page summary. But equally, across each department at the university, we have existing PhD opportunities. So these are opportunities that are advertised on our website, and again, we can share links across the relevant departments after the the presentation, but there are existing live opportunities that we need people to apply for. So these are kind of vacancies, if you like, within postgraduate research at the university, where there is a specific need in a particular area of research. We need students to apply to kind of undertake this research. So there may well be something there that applies either exactly or more broadly to your kind of chosen area of research. And in that case, you would apply directly for that. So you would essentially begin the application process online, and submitting your research proposal would be a part of that process. So I can provide a link to the various kind of existing opportunities across the university. So there's two, in short, there are two kind of approaches. You can either approach a supervisor or an academic contact directly, and kind of the conversation around your research topic evolves to the point where you find a mutually agreeable subject for your PhD, or you apply directly for one of the existing PhD opportunities.
Okay, thank you very much, Gordon. Okay, so the other question may be regarding the scholarship. It means that if if they go by the Indonesian scholarship, do they have another opportunity to get a research fund from the University of Strathclyde? So
not usually. So it's my understanding, Hendra, you might be able to kind of corroborate this, but I think the LPDP scholarship covers all tuition fees and the living stipend. Is that right?
Yes, everything is covered.
Yeah, so if you were in receipt of that scholarship, you wouldn't then need any additional.
So, yes,
and I think the stipend is generous as well. So
yes, that's correct. Yes. Okay. So the continuing questions. If the participant already have like an intention letter or a proposal proposal draft, can they have a discussion with the members of the university or just directly make a conversation to the supervisor? What do you think, Gordon?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So as I said, that's one approach that students can take. So if they have that summary or indeed a research proposal already to go, then they can approach the supervisors directly. So on our website, I'll maybe just share my screen again and just point it. So
I mean, whether do you have any session for to help students that already have a draft to make it better, make the proposal better, or they can go with this?
Yeah, I mean that's certainly something we can do. So we can kind of liaise after this session, and if there are students that have their research proposal, or perhaps even in kind of 6 weeks to 2 months time, at a time when some of the people on this call have their either their kind of draft proposal or even a summary, then we can certainly run another session to kind of fine-tune the research proposal, and we could get Tiffany involved again just to kind of run through those kind of tips and the do's and don'ts, because yeah, we recognize that it is a very extensive piece of work, and so we're more than happy to provide additional kind of support and guidance on that. I'm just sharing so this is the homepage of our university website, and if you scroll down to the bottom, so I'll maybe just share this in the chat box so that everyone has it for reference. But if you scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, you'll find a list of all the academic faculties and departments. So each department has its own departmental page. So let's go to Tiffany's department. So design manufacturing and engineering management. So you can see here, there is the postgraduate research option. So this just outlines the contact details of some of the supervisors, that outlines the application process. There's details on the kind of research specializations across the department. So we've got 4 faculties. Each faculty probably has 6 or 7 academic departments, but then each department will have a number of research specializations and focuses. And then I mentioned the current vacancies. So you will find that there are existing, so you can see 2 fully funded options here. So they're existing vacancies within that department where they're looking to have students apply for these PhD options. So that's the best way to kind of initiate contact with the supervisor. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, choose the department that's most relevant to your area of expertise, and you can contact the staff that way.
Okay, thank you very much, Gordon. This is also, you can see on the chat box, there is a interesting information that if you have any further question regarding study PhD in Strathclyde or specifically in United Kingdom, you can contact the IBEC, Ibu Eva, and also Ibu Eva. She already provide the contact number, email, and also Instagram, so you can reach her any time you think you ready for your proposal. I think that would be great. So I invite another question if there is any question, or you can ask directly to Gordon or Pak Hendra regarding this.
Perhaps
Yes.
if I can add something, Pak Ferry.
Oh, yes.
Gordon, one thing that is usually needed by a prospective lecturer from Indonesia, prospective PhD candidate, not lecturer. Since they are lecturer, they are also busy with all the teaching plan and everything else. So this is one thing that we have been providing to all lectures, a close assistance. So Eva has been providing close assistance to any lectures. She's been doing very well. She has been assisting a lot of lectures, and if anyone is thinking about getting a closed mean, what will you say, Gordon? I've been saying closed assistant means like a very
counseling, yeah.
Yeah, tense.
Thorough.
Yeah, thorough assistance. So very detailed. Can I just speak in bahasa? It's a lot easier for me.
Yeah.
Kalau membutuhkan asistensi yang sangat-sangat detail, sangat-sangat menyeluruh, silahkan boleh menghubungi saya juga boleh, menghubungi Mbak Iva juga boleh. Mbak Iva ini yang sudah banyak bantu dosen-dosen untuk mendampingi semuanya, karena kami sadar bahwa sebagian dosen juga memiliki banyak tugas dan pekerjaan sehari-hari. Jadi kita akan pandu, kita akan bimbing bagaimana dari A sampai Z-nya nanti. Oke, Pak Ferry silahkan. Itu Ibu Lintang kayaknya mau tanya.
Yes, please Ibu Lintang, you may ask directly.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Hello, Pak Ferry.
Hello.
I'd like to ask a question about the application. I've been checked through the website of this Strathclyde, and let's say I meet all the requirements. Okay, let's say like that, and I need the offering letter for scholarship application. So what should I do? I mean, should I submit the document directly to the website, the university website, or to IBEC? Yeah, IBEC. And if I choose IBEC assistance, is there any charge? I mean, how many should I provide for that? Yeah, because that would be something that need to be, what is it? I mean, it needs to be considered also. Thank you. That's my question. Thank you, Pak Ferry.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Lintang. Please,
Can,
Gordon.
can I answer on the service part while Gordon is here? Bu Lintang, I still need a job from Gordon and Strathclyde, so please don't pay me anything.
Okay.
Zero money.
Okay.
Free of charge, nothing. I need the job. Kalau saya terima bayaran, I lost the job. So no, thank you. I need the job very much. So please do not pay me anything. You don't have to pay us anything. Not any single penny you pay. Okay?
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah.
Pak.
I would just echo that, but to elaborate on that as well, I would encourage any student, so regardless of PhD, postgraduate, masters, or undergraduate, I would encourage all students to go through IBEC for a couple of reasons. So I touched on in the presentation, and this is my chance to flatter Hendra and Eva, but a fantastic organization, very professional, and they've got in Indonesia they have unsurpassed knowledge of the UK higher education sector. So regardless of whether I'm delighted to hear that you're looking to apply to Strathclyde, but equally for those that are looking to apply to other institutions, Hendra, Eva and the team have fantastic knowledge of the offerings across the various UK universities, so they can support in that application phase. But I think as well, and this is probably from a university perspective, the most kind of important part of the I guess the agent student relationship is in the visa counselling. So that can be that's quite an in-depth, intricate process. It's something that universities aren't experts at. It's something that most students aren't experts in. And that's where the knowledge and the experience of IBEC come into play in helping you navigate the visa stage as well. In addition to the kind of counselling prior to application, the application process, but that visa journey is an important part of it. And with the kind of knowledge and experience that the IBEC team have, it's a much smoother process. And yeah, as Hendra mentioned, there's no additional cost to any students. The cost is borne by the university.
Okay. Thank you very much, Gordon. Thank you very much, Pak Hendra.
Thank you, Ibu.
Thank you very much, Bu Lintang. Is there any other questions? Yes, I think.
Pak, one last question, Pak.
Please.
Sorry, I'm just asking, is Solo now PPKM level 4 or level 3 or level 2?
I believe it is level 4 now. But as you see that most people are already do their business just like normal.
Okay.
Yeah,
That means
actually it is level 4, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, that means I can't go solo yet. Okay, we wait for 1 month. After that,
Yes,
we may be able to go solo again.
Okay. Yes, I guess I believe all the questions already asked and already answered, and so I would like to conclude this session. First of all, Strathclyde University have many opportunity for the PhD or master or even undergraduate students that wants to apply. If you find difficulties, Gordon here, International Office of Strathclyde, and also IBEC, Pak Hendra and Ibu Eva can help us. This team will support you, helps you every step of the way until you get received to the University of Strathclyde. So if you have questions, further question, or you need a consultation, you can contact Ibu Eva or Pak Hendra, or even Pak Gordon, Mr. Gordon, that already provide their contacts in the chat box. So in the conclusion, I would like to, by the university, 11 Maret University would like to convey their gratitude. Thank you very much for coming to the UNS and provide this kind of information that I believe some of the lecturers that came here would like to apply, but I believe because it needs time and many of documents needed, it will not be right away. So I hope that you can open all your communication. Maybe later on, this participant would like to give you questions or require consultation. I hope that you can help them to make it clearer. Okay. Without further ado, thank you very much for the session, and best of luck to all participants that come here. I hope that you can have the information because this information is also required in another university overseas. So it's not only on UK, but also in America, Australia. So I hope that you can have insight how to apply for this proposal to get a postgraduate study. Thank you very much. I return this session to the Master of Ceremony, Mbak Safitri. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Bapak Ferry, for leading the sessions. And also thank you very much for the representatives of the University of Strathclyde, Kimberly Hendron, Gordon Dunlop, and also Tiffany Imron. And also, we would like to say thank you to IBAC, Bapak Satyadi Hendra, and also Ibu Iva Faujia for coming. Thank you all for coming virtually today, and we hope to later on we hope that we can welcome you in person here in Universitas 11 Maret. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we come to the end of the program. We hope that the information sessions today can encourage more students and lecturers to pursue further study in the United Kingdom and in the University of Strathclyde especially. And indeed, we hope to initiate more collaborative programs between Universitas 11 Maret and the University of Strathclyde in the near future. Thank you very much for your participations. Stay safe and healthy and have a pleasant day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very
Mbak
much.
Fitri nanti makan soto lagi ya.
Ya Pak, segera ya Pak, semoga bisa ke Solo lagi.
Iya.
Ya, terima kasih Mbak Safitri.
Terima kasih Mbak
Ferry,
Iva.
saya ingin ke Solo lagi.
Everyone.
Thank you, Gordon. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. See you.
Bye.
Bye.